For some, sustainability isn't just an initiative, it's a lifestyle. All across North Carolina, local businesses are working to come up with creative ways to make even the smallest aspects of our lives more sustainable. We're here today in Durham at Fillaree, a small batch liquid soap factory that's making a splash with their innovative and refillable products. Hi, I'm Meredith Radford.
And I'm Nick Hill.
Welcome to The Good Guide to Business, a podcast presented by the Better Business Bureau.
Now, The Good Guide is all about these conversations with businesses, organizations, and local leaders who are going above and beyond to make our community a better place for everybody.
So grab a cup of coffee, sit down, and get ready to hear from this episode's special guest, Alyssa from Fillaree.
Yay!
We're actually really excited to be out here today with our first guest on the show, but, actually getting to talk to somebody now about these things that we're all so excited about. So again, thank you, Alyssa, for being on the show. And for our listeners, once again, we are here at Fillaree, and they are a refillable soap and cleaning product company. So Alyssa, welcome to the show.
Thanks. I'm super happy to be here.
So Alyssa, first, you just want to tell us a little bit about Fillaree, how Fillaree came to be.
Yeah, definitely. Fillaree's been around since 2014. So I started in my house making liquid soap. I found it really challenging to find a place to refill my liquid soap and cleaning spray bottle. I was composting and, making some other small changes that felt really good in my life when it came to waste and when it came to sustainability. But I was couldn't find a place to refill my soap and cleaning spray. And I just thought that was maybe other people might want to refill if I do. And basically, I kind of decided to take a leap and see if I could teach myself how to make liquid soap. I started in my kitchen in a crock pot. I joined the South Durham Farmers Market, and the rest is kind of history. It really grew slowly and organically from 2014 to 2018. 2018, we took a big leap, moved into this 2,000 square foot facility. We got a 60-gallon tank, and we've just been, popping up at other stores across the country, selling our soap, selling our cleaning sprays. We make sure that we get all of the containers back so we can wash, sanitize, and refill them. So that's something a little bit different about Fillaree. And I think that it's something that really a lot of our retail partners really appreciate. And also just the local community of Durham. We have a little storefront that's open Wednesday through Saturday. So many people come in, the same people for years and years, reducing their waste and really happy to also use the great quality soap.
Yeah, awesome.
That's awesome. And it sounds like already, just within these few years, you've really become ingrained and made a splash in this community.
Yeah, definitely. We work with so many different, nonprofits. We work with a lot of local businesses. We provide the amenities for the Durham Hotel. We, provide soap for places like Cocoa Cinnamon and, Gochiulina, and a lot of other, small businesses use our soap. It's really gentle. And so a lot of people really like that. It's gray water safe, so it doesn't harm the waterways like some other synthetic soaps can. And yeah, locally we definitely, do a lot of kind of outreach. Our community is really important. I mean, if people in Durham didn't want to refill, we wouldn't be here today. So it's really, really nice to kind of start here. Durham's a place where people are early adopters. So I think 8 years ago when I was oh, you bring back your bottle and refill it, a lot of people were what are you talking about? That concept didn't really exist, Zero waste was a very fringe movement. But the people of Durham were hey, let's do it. Yeah, I'll bring my bottle back. That makes sense to me. And, here we are 8 years later where people are searching for refill stores, and it's much more popular of a movement. But Durham and North Carolina is definitely a place that it was a really special place to start this kind of business.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, on your website, you talk about Fillaree being what's called a closed-loop circular economy. What does that mean for the customers?
Yeah, so it means that, the container the vessel that you're using to get your product is brought back to the manufacturer, the place where you bought it. It's, washed, sanitized, and then refilled. So instead of having a linear economy of waste is where someone would be oh, you buy this bottle, you drink that water, and then it goes away somewhere. it's like a straight line that goes more like to the landfill or recycling, when recycling can be problematic too. Actually, in Durham County, our trash is actually sent on a 200-mile round-trip journey to Sampson County. So it's like the carbon footprint of the waste that's created is just so much more multiplied than even just like it's sitting in a trash can. Right. So closed loop is basically you're bringing back the container, you're reusing it. And I think that that's something that, is really, really impactful when you're reusing something over and over, kind of like they did back in the day,
Yeah.
So why is it that refilling is so important to you as opposed to recycling or just throwing things away?
Yeah. I feel like I definitely feel like recycling is, at its best, problematic. I don't think it really is definitely proven that it doesn't really happen, like only 9% of plastic is actually recycled. The rest that goes in the recycling just ends up in a landfill. So I think that making smaller changes to be able to reuse my own water bottle or my own coffee cup, they just felt really impactful to me, and they really helped me literally physically see the waste of like my trash can and my recycling bin get smaller. And that was just so like really, really impactful to see the negative space like in my waste bin, right? So I think that taking that a step further and being able to refill all these essential goods is just like even more exciting. And I think it just makes me feel like I'm able to kind of control the massive, horrible global warming climate crisis that we're also inundated with. And that's like really scary. Every month it's getting scarier and scarier. And you're just like, can I do something? And like, yes. Maybe you're going to consume a good soap. You're going to support a really good company that has like really great values, that's like doing good things for the community. We also are a zero waste company, so we're really transparent. We don't have a big trash can. Of course, we do recycle. We recycle cardboard. We recycle a lot of stuff, but we definitely do our best to live by our values too. And I think a lot of people appreciate that as well.
Yeah, it's definitely really great to hear about how sustainable you guys are and how, there's businesses now basically in every sector that are making these innovations and doing something to be more sustainable in all these kinds of ways. Now, I know that you talked a lot about just now how you're reducing your waste, but another big part of Fillaree that we found is that you really focus on these organic and natural ingredients. So why is that? What is the importance of that?
Yeah, so it's definitely kind of, I feel like a lot of people will come to a point in their life where they may be like, oh my gosh, they'll realize like all the crazy synthetic ingredients in soaps, cleaners, and how toxic that really can be for our bodies and our families and then our earths, right? Or our planet, our waterways. And I think that, I knew if I was going to have a refillable soap, it was going to have to be really natural, because nobody's going to want to refill a lot of chemical laden products. And I also think it's been really exciting to be able to support. For instance, we get our sunflower oil from a local sunflower farm in eastern North Carolina, kind of close to Tarboro, or not close to Tarboro, but on the way, like around Tarboro area. And Carolina Gold Sunflower Oil is the company, and we're able to first of all like support a local farm, get a local product. It's cold pressed. It's really high quality, and we're able to take the containers back to them, and then they reuse them. So we're creating a closed loop economy like with our suppliers, which is something that's really exciting. And I think being able to do that in North Carolina is also really, really innovative. And I think it really helps people get behind the company of Fillaree and also like how we do things.
Yeah, for sure. I think now would be a good time to stop for a quick ad break.
Yeah, let's take a little pause and thank some of our sponsors.
This episode of the Good Guide to Business podcast is brought to you by Ultra Roofing. Ultra Roofing is a family-run roofing business serving the Triangle and surrounding areas with over 15 years of experience. Through our business, we cherish the opportunity to share our life, passion, and success with those that we love and trust.
At Ultra Roofing, we take pride in the roofs we install because our name and reputation are at stake. "We got you covered" is more than just a slogan. It's our mantra. We treat every roof we install with the utmost care. We don't take shortcuts, and we don't use lesser quality materials. What you say about us matters, and we don't take any job for granted. When you work with Ultra Roofing, you won't be disappointed with the end result.
Visit ultraroofing.net today or call 800-977-3110. That's 800-977-3110. Just generally, what are like some of the biggest things you want potential or current customers to know about Fillaree, about what you're about?
Yeah, definitely. So I would love people to know that like they can shop online. They do not have to come in the store. So we do have a website that you can buy, any of our products on. So I feel like that's definitely something that everybody should know. They can shop online. They can come into our storefront if they want, if they are local. And I think that also, like, we do a lot of work with businesses too. So if you have like a commercial business or you have an Airbnb, you have a short-term rental, we would love to talk to you as well. We can provide discounts for, commercial businesses and then also for short-term rentals. So I think that, I don't know, I would also like people to know that they can just go ahead and follow us or sign up for our newsletter. We have a lot of fun and we're always showing kind of behind the scenes what we're doing. And I feel like those are some really good points to know about Fillaree.
Nice. Now, with Fillaree, I've seen, you could just go to Walmart and get like that Great Value brand soap for like $2. So for the customers, what are some of the real benefits of spending like the extra couple dollars on Fillaree as opposed to just like a generic soap?
Yeah, well, I think the first one would definitely be like the quality of the soap, like on your skin. Like, I definitely, most of the cheaper products are going to have a lot of petrochemicals. They're going to have a lot of synthetic fragrances that can be really damaging to your endocrine system, like your hormonal kind of system, and then also even like your skin, like, cause things like eczema or just really, really dry skin. So I think that, some people can use it their whole lives and like they have, they're totally fine. But I definitely, I feel like soaps that have a lot of really harsh ingredients can cause a lot of problems health-wise. I definitely also think if you're thinking about the levels of the environment and trying to buy products that are literally like washing off your skin and going down the drain, like that's ending up in our waterways. And if maybe you don't care if you get the chemicals on your hand, but maybe thinking about like those other levels, it's definitely going to be a really healthy soap. And it's also supporting a small business, I think, makes people feel really good. I love going to the farmers market and I love talking to the people who are, growing these vegetables. And I think having that, you can still have that feeling a lot when you're kind of supporting Fillaree, like knowing that it makes such a big difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, of course, we're at your storefront in Durham right now. And you also have refill stations elsewhere. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. So, we have these refill partners that most of them are female-owned, independent, zero-waste shops, refillable shops. There's about 60 nationwide. So, like, it's a store kind of like ours, but they have a bunch of different refillable products. And they found Fillaree, like, through the internet somehow, or somebody told them about us, and we sell our soap to them in bulk, and then they send back the empty containers. So that's an option too if somebody's wanting to open a store. If you have a Fillaree refill station, it's great because it builds repeat customers. So it's like if someone gets a glass bottle for $9, they take it home, they love it, they're like, oh, refill this, they'll come back to your store, maybe they'll purchase something else. So I think it's a really good thing for the right kind of small business to get people back in the store, because they're going to be using soap their whole, we all wash our hands like so much.
Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's been really great to work with a lot of these other small businesses. But the Durham Co-op has one. I would love to Raleigh. There's so many people that drive here from Raleigh and Fayetteville and are like, when are you going to put, or Carborough and Chapel Hill, like, where are you going to put a refill station there? We really need one. So I'm definitely really hopeful to be talking to some bigger markets in the area and get the soap in there too, because people will really appreciate that, I know.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And it's really awesome hearing how there's these networks of like these refill partners, all with these common goals of the sustainability, like you were saying, the closed loop economy. It's all great to hear about. And I know you just mentioned a little bit ago too how you're working with local businesses through the commercial refill program. So could you take a moment maybe to explain how that program works and maybe what some of the benefits are to businesses to use it?
Yeah, so I think that, depending on the business, like certain restaurants, for instance, a seafood restaurant, people eat with their hands. So like I've had a few, restaurants that love our unscented soap because it literally has no scent. And it's also really, really gentle. And I think that like they have, a really nice bathroom and a really nice vibe. And like they care about all these, pieces of their ambiance, and like in the bathroom having this really nice, beautiful refillable soap can really demonstrate to your customers that you care about the skin, and then you care about supporting other local businesses. So I think for restaurants and coffee shops alike, that's a really good, it's like another layer of like showing who they are as a business. And then it's definitely like a discount for them. So they are able to get our soap at, a great value. And then they're also able to participate in that closed loop economy. They're able to bring back the empty jug, we'll take it, wash, sanitize, and refill it. So for those kind of businesses, it's great. For other like spas and like massage places and, acupuncture, holistic places, it's really nice to have a really good healthy soap that their customers can use, because that of course is going to align with what that practice is preaching essentially. We definitely have, there's Airbnbs is another one that, another kind of discount program. And if anyone's interested in, they can just email hello@fillaree.com. We will eventually be getting, hopefully a wholesale portal on our website to make it a little bit easier for commercial clients to order, and get those products shipped out. But we definitely love working with small businesses.
That's exciting to hear, and I think it's really great too from the customer's end. You just think about it, so many people now are seeking out businesses with these sustainability initiatives. And even something like using your soap, I'm sure can attract customers, all kinds of customers. It's not anymore just young people who are looking at this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's everybody.
For sure, definitely. And anybody who anybody who's like really does appreciate natural products and has gone to like the pink slime like soap, or like the soap that at the hospital doctor that like you just cannot get off your head. You're like, oh my God, it smells like so stringent. I think that those people also really appreciate like that having a really nice, a nice quality, safe, effective hand soap is something that your customers can definitely appreciate.
Yeah. Could you talk to us a little bit, if you have numbers, how much your customer base has grown since you started?
Yeah, so I literally started in a farmer's market tent with I think I sold I think it was maybe a bar of soap the first day. And I had explained the first refillers ever, Pat and Linda, they're amazing, they still refill. They came up and I was like, oh, you're new, what do you do? And I was like, yeah, I make refillable soap. Kind of gave them the whole spiel. And they're like, oh, that sounds good. Next week they came back and they had their bottle with them. And at the time, soap was $1 an ounce because that's just how much it had to be. I was making it in these tiny batches. It's 50 cents an ounce now, so we've definitely been able to drop the price. But it was $1 an ounce. I remember I filled up this 32-ounce bottle, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I have to ask it. Like this is a $32 bottle of soap. She's like, okay, and she ended up being the first customer. They ended up coming back, over and over. Like I said, they still refill to this day. So I started with one customer, right? And we currently have about 900 subscribers nationwide. So Those are individual customers that get the bulk refill and send back the empty refill. I mean, I'd probably say we have about 250 customers come through the storefront every week. And we have 60, we started with one refill station at Stone Brothers and Bird in downtown Durham, which was really challenging and a whole other story, but was really grateful that they decided to become the first refill station when everyone else was like, what are you talking about? You want to have people come and refill their bottle of soap? That doesn't make any sense. That sounds really messy. But they ended up taking a chance on it. So we started with one, and now we have 60 refill partners. The same thing with restaurants. There was one brewery that started using our soap, Full Steam Brewery, and now there's probably about 25 businesses and the Durham Hotel that's using our soap. So we've definitely grown quite a bit over the long time, but definitely in 2018 when we moved in here, it's been a pretty steady and pretty big a climb year after year in regards to customers and sales.
Yeah, that's awesome. So before we started, you mentioned you have a BBB story. Do you want to tell it?
Yes, I do. So it was not my first job, but it was definitely one of my first jobs, was working at the Better Business Bureau.
Oh, really?
As a customer service representative. Yes. I remember my friend, my best friend was like, oh, there's this, job, the BBB. I think it will be really great on a resume, or like it will just look really, good to like have that, somewhere. We were like, I think I was like 16 or something. And I'm like, okay, I'll go. Went to the interview. I got the job. She was like, I was like, this is great. And I remember I was a customer service representative, so I would call and I would read the reports about the, I would pull up the business, people would call me, and I would pull up the business name that they were inquiring about. This was like literally pre-internet. I mean, the internet was around, but like most people were still like using the phone to do stuff like that. So I would pull up the report, and they'd always be like, is it good or bad? Is it good or bad? Is this business good or bad? And I was like, the BBB cannot endorse, we cannot endorse or deny or whatever, like any business. I can read you the report and da-da-da-da-da. They've either had a few complaints or, oh, they're actually a member, and this does not mean we endorse them, but it does mean that they like do all these things. And yeah, I probably worked there for about like 6 to 8 months, and it was really great. I worked a few hours every day after school. I think I had like the 4 to 7 shift or something like that. Not exactly sure, but yeah, the BBB, I totally remember it. It has a spot in my heart for sure. Phoenix, Arizona.
That is so funny.
That is crazy. I had no idea coming into this that we were speaking to one of our own pretty much.
A colleague.
Look at that.
And you have all the BBB principles down about how to talk to customers about businesses.
Yes, this is very true. We definitely, I see the BBB in our future for sure. It was a really great time, and I really loved it, and I definitely feel like it's a great organization, and so I'm super glad that y'all are around.
Awesome, thanks.
Well, I think we may be more glad that you're around. Just hearing about sustainability and how, when I first heard about Fillaree, I was a little skeptical. I was like, how much sustainable impact can you make with soap? For sure. But now that I've heard about it and how you go from having the closed loop economy to what goes into the soap, it just seems like it can make a real big impact. And, it started off, like you said, Pat and Linda, shout out to you guys. And it's catching on, That's how trends happen, and that's how real change is made. So it's really great just hearing about all this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's definitely seems like it's here to stay, and there's a lot more, competition, companies that are doing things like that. And it's great because it just means that like their customers are also going to be making a difference. So I'm really glad to be here, glad to be the first one to do it for sure, all the way back in 2014, but it's definitely something that's continuing to grow as more and more people like kind of jump on the refill train. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you have plans for Fillaree to grow in any way anytime soon?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, I definitely have always envisioned a big factory, big tanks, making quite a bit more soap, having a bigger team, and probably having it somewhere maybe in a neighboring county or something, or somewhere where there's a real need for like manufacturing jobs. If you think about I'm really passionate about this lately. Like, if you think about manufacturing, like everything that we buy and touch comes from manufacturing, right? Like, it's all made somewhere. And there's only 2% of all the manufacturing companies in the United States. And I feel like there's like 9,000 are owned by women. Right? So it's like only 2%. I mean, that is like that's like low, like mechanic low. I mean, that stat is really intense. And it's something that I've just been really involved with, thinking that if more women or more sustainably minded people, doesn't have to be women per se, but are owning these manufacturing companies, you can really make a big impact, because how you make things, what you do with the aftermath of like, you're making this, frame, you're making this desk, like where does all that waste go? If that can be really more mindfully thought of, I think you can make a really huge impact. And also just how you're treating the people that work with you, making it more of a community, making it more of an involved, like kind of cooperative almost, I think is something that the world really needs. And I feel like being in manufacturing and having a really big company that can be really successful in the United States, like in how we work and how we do business, having someone like Fillaree be one of those companies is going to be really impactful in a lot more different ways than just the sustainability aspect.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Love women-owned businesses.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like I said, manufacturing, like we're like, I got my tools back there, you know, I'm like always covered in soap. Not today so much. I kind of try to, you know, get a little nice for y'all. But I definitely feel like it's something that is exciting and kind of new and different. It's like another layer of Fillaree that I'm getting really into because I think it's going to be really meaningful. And I also didn't realize that it was such a small number of women that actually own manufacturing companies and deal with tanks and deal with like those big forklifts and all the pallets coming in, all the drums back there, they're so heavy, you know, like there's all this stuff I'm figuring out. So
yeah. Well, and I think bringing in a lot more women-owned businesses are going to bring way more innovation into pre-existing you know, genres of what is already there, because
for sure.
women haven't been there before, so obviously there's
exactly. And we're going to find solutions, and we're going to be like, wait, why are you putting that over there? Like, that can totally just go right over there and you can use it again. Or like, or hey, why don't we all buy from this company? So like we all have this buying power, you know, as opposed to you doing your own thing and you doing your own thing and you doing your own thing. Like that way we can get them to make more sustainable decisions, or we can get better prices for ourselves. So we're able to have more longevity, or we're able to hire somebody to help because we have to have maternity leave. I could go on and Don't get me started. Don't get me started. No, but I do think I am excited about that aspect. So I definitely do see, like I said, a big factory, more scaling, more sales, more people to know about Fillaree. Because while I live in a Fillaree bubble where everybody I know knows about Fillaree, a lot of people have no idea that Fillaree even exists. So I think that that's going to be a challenge, but that's something that I think about, like how to really kind of get our soap out there on a much, much bigger level, and then be able to, you know, create that kind of company and create that manufacturing plant.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you do in the future. We'll definitely be staying tuned and watching and seeing what happens.
Definitely.
Where can people follow you?
Yeah, so we are on Instagram at Fillaree, Fillaree. We also, you know, we do have a Pinterest and Facebook, but those are all kind of linked on our website. Our newsletter is something that we definitely are really investing a lot of time in. We're not annoying. We don't like, oh my gosh, sale, 30% off. We send about 1 or 2 out a month. They're really, really thoughtful, very like, you know, content based, like really, hey, here's a story about Fillaree, here's about, you know, just really engaging stuff. And then also, you know, hey, here's a new product, perhaps if we come up with something like that. So I would definitely say if you go to our website and sign up for our newsletter, you know, that's going to be a really great way to follow us, and we're not going to annoy you, and you'll be able to kind of see all the things that we're doing, because Instagram is wavy. It's a wavy place out there. So, you know, like who knows if you'll even see us. Please follow us, because we do post everything there and we do a lot. But the newsletter is going to be something that we really would love everyone to sign up for. And don't worry, we're not going to annoy you.
Well, there you go to our listeners and viewers. Go follow Fillaree, and if you want to stay tuned, I guess, sign up for their newsletter for all that spicy news.
Yes.
We call soap spicy. Do you have spicy soaps?
Well, I don't know if I have spicy soap. We are launching a really fun new product with a local business collab in September, and that might be a little spicy. It'll be good. Stay tuned. It'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, again, Alyssa, just thank you so much for being our very first special guest.
Number 1.
We really enjoyed talking with you and hearing about your business and how everything works. It was just so awesome being here, too.
Great. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was fun. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. So to our listeners, thanks for tuning in to this episode of The Good Guide to Business.
Yeah, if you aren't already, go follow us on social media at BBB Easter NC. That's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can watch these episodes on YouTube as well. And if you want to give it a listen, you know, you can go back and listen to previous episodes on Spotify, Apple Music, and pretty much everywhere else that you can find your podcasts. And if you want to stay tuned again, we release episodes out every other Wednesday. So now that you know, you know.
All right, well, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.